Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Mackenzie, and today we're going to be doing another missing persons case. Like I said in my last case about Star Palumbo, I'm wanting to do this for probably a couple more months before I get into my next mini-series, which is going to be so crazy, I can already tell you that. And I'm seriously so excited for you guys to see it. But today's case is going to be on Jennifer Casper Ross, who of course went missing from Nevada, as that's what I try to cover mostly, and she specifically went missing from Reno, Nevada. So if you guys don't know anything about Jennifer or her case, prepare to learn a little bit about her. And without further ado, let's get into it. On April 30th, 1975, Jennifer Casper Ross was born. Jennifer was raised in Pocatello, Idaho, and graduated from Highland High School there. And in 1995, she actually moved to Reno, Nevada in order to try out for the Greg Thompson production company. And she was only 19 at the time, and actually the youngest girl to ever audition. And then not only that, but she actually made it onto their team. And over her few years that she worked with them, she actually worked many shows at the Harrah's downtown and was featured on a lot of their different posters. And one that her mom likes to talk about is the one Lipstick. And, you know, she seemed to have a pretty good role in that and did a really good job. And, you know, dancing is Jennifer's passion. Like, that is the love of her life, is dance. And I think it always has been, and that's why she was able to become a professional ballerina at such a young age. And while she was working at the Harrah's, that's actually where she met her husband, Sean Ross, or it could be Sheen. I know people pronounce it different. I would pronounce that Sean. And they soon got married. But unfortunately, early in her career as a ballerina, she experienced a tailbone fracture, and her tailbone fracture just ended everything that was going to be the professional dance world for Jennifer. So in order to kind of cope with that and still be able to keep her love of dancing, she decided to pass on that love of dancing and was able to do that by teaching young girls how to do ballet. A few years after all this happens, she's been married now she's a teacher there. She actually has a son with her husband, and she's attending UNR. She had been attending UNR for 3 years. She also went to Truckee Meadows Community College. At her attendance in UNR, she had actually made the dean's list for all 3 years that she went there and always had like a 3.9 and a 4.0 GPA. So she was such an intelligent girl, and she was actually tutoring people in like physics and just super hard stuff that I know I can't comprehend very easily. And she was so close to finishing her degree as well. She was less than a year away. During her time of going to school though, Jennifer started to work as an exotic dancer, and I don't take that as a bad thing at all. Like, sometimes that's just what you do or what you like to do. Like, it doesn't mean anything bad to me, but I'm also like really used to it from living here. I know everybody has different opinions about that. And because of Jennifer's behavior and her drug addiction that was starting to come on after having her son, she got fired from a lot of jobs, and she actually got fired from the last one at the Wild Orchid a week before she disappeared. So all in all, 2005 was a really hard year for Jennifer and her, you know, close little family that they had. During that year, did she not only lose a couple of jobs, but she was also diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And bipolar disorder means that you have really high highs and you have really low lows. So like you get very manic and very depressive. And so a lot of times you will be put on a medication to try and help alleviate that, to stabilize that, you know, kind of make it happen less often, or just keep you more on a regular basis somewhere in the middle. And so she was relying very heavily on those medications and was drinking a lot. And, you know, this all started to cause a lot of stress on her marriage. But not only that, her and her husband were also dealing with a lot of financial struggles, and she had totally maxed out credit cards, and it just definitely was not helping their marriage. On May 5th, 2005, Sean said that he came home and Jennifer was very drunk, very upset, and she had been packing a bag and saying that she needed to go, she needed to go. Sean said that he tried to stop her from going, to convince her otherwise, persuade her, whatever you want to call it, but it was obvious it wasn't working, so he let her go. And from there, she actually went to the Peppermill Hotel and Casino, which is a little bit past downtown. At the Peppermill, people say that they noticed Jennifer had like cuts on her arms and her wrists. For people to say cuts, that makes me think it must have been actually pretty fresh wounds, because, you know, you wouldn't have said like, oh, scratches or scabs or something like that, or scars, but they said specifically cuts. Since Jennifer obviously has not been found, they can't tell if these cuts were self-inflicted or maybe some sort of attacker / abuser maybe. It's really hard to tell, but typically those kinds of cuts are self-inflicted, but that doesn't mean that it 100% is. At about 5 o'clock in the morning now, and it's still the same day, the 5th, Jennifer tells her friend that she needs to borrow their phone, and she actually makes a call to her dad. And they don't think that her dad answered, and I haven't seen that she either left a voicemail or just the friend reported what she said or was wanting to say, but I know that her intentions on calling were to say that she needed to go see him, and he actually lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is about a 7-hour drive from Reno. So it would be quite a ways, and obviously Jennifer never made it that far. Jennifer then decides that she needs to go see her mom, and Jennifer's mom worked at a cab company off of Gentry Way, so Jennifer actually called a cab and went all the way over there and found out that her mom wasn't working, and her mom usually worked graveyards, so it would have been kind of likely that her mom was working. But when she found out she wasn't working, she also told the cab driver that she didn't have the money to pay him, and like got out of the car and like broke her shoes and just ran off. And I've read that they just saw her running down the street. I've read that they saw her jump over a fence, and that was like the last time she was ever seen. So either way, it was on Gentry Way, and she was barefoot and running away because she didn't have the money to pay her fare. But that's the last time anybody ever sees her, unfortunately. The next day, her husband Sean calls the police to report her as a missing person, and the police come to the house and start just doing a little bit of digging. And while at her house, they notice that there's 2 notes that are written by Jennifer, and they've taken these notes and like analyzed them and DNA matched them and handwriting matched and stuff to make sure that they really are Jennifer, and they are. And not only that, but also in the note was blood, which can be a little bit eerie, and it doesn't say like a fingerprint of blood or anything like that. It just says blood in all the articles that I read, so take that for what you will. And in the notes, it's just pretty vague what they say. It says they don't release the notes anywhere that I've found, but she pretty much says like who can see her son and where her belongings will go, and she asks for her belongings to go to her husband Sean. She says, if something were to happen to me. So in my opinion, it's almost like a last minute will that she was writing, and it just seems weird to be like, oh, if something happened to me, do this. There's blood on the note. She was obviously super distressed, trying to get out of there, and hasn't been seen in almost 15 years. So it's just really weird, honestly. And I think all these different circumstances that line up with now having the notes is what led police to actually mark her as a missing person suspicious. It also makes it really difficult for the cops, because this isn't the first time that Jennifer has run away, and it's also not the first time that, you know, maybe she committed suicide, because she had attempted that before. So when you have someone who's run away or has killed themselves, unfortunately a lot of times police departments won't want to put as much energy into those people, and that really, really sucks, because those are honestly the people that probably need the most help. I do wonder if the times that she went running away before, her husband also reported her missing, because he did it the first day she was missing, and the other times said that she'd be missing for a couple of days. So did he report her missing then as well? I would really, really like to know that. And then something really strange happens a few months after Jennifer goes missing. Sean files for divorce. And it took until she was missing for about 5 months for him to be granted that divorce. but I still think that's really weird. I would be more upset about my wife and, mother of my child, my young child missing than I would be about getting a divorce right now. And I do, again, wonder his motivations and why did he find somebody new? Did he get remarried? I don't know anything about Sean. I do know that at least for a couple years, and maybe still now, maybe not, I couldn't find an updated report of this, but Jennifer's mother, Carla, was actually trying to contact him, and he just would never return her calls, wouldn't contact her back, things like that. So in my head, I think that's pretty suspicious, but he is not, he's listed as not a suspect by the police. So obviously he has some way or some reason that he is not considered a suspect, even if what the public sees feels a little bit different than that. They obviously have more information than we. Something that I really like that Jennifer's mom and close family have done is every single time a female body is found in the United States or really anywhere, they will send Jennifer's DNA to be tested against that. And I think that's absolutely awesome and something I think should be happening all the time, because there's so many unidentified people out there and so many missing people that are probably the correct link for that. And a lot of times if people are decomposed or anything like that, or even if it's just been a while, they can look so different. I remember actually just a few days ago, or a couple weeks ago now, they found a little girl in California, and they drew her, and because you can't release photos like that, and had the exact clothes she was wearing and everything like that, and it still took almost a week for someone to identify her. And it was she wasn't badly decomposed, they knew exactly what she was wearing, and when you look at the picture you're like, okay, that looks a lot like her, but it still took time for someone to be like, oh crap, that's this person. So I do think it's really important to test, because someone can always change, honestly, their eye color, their skin color, their hair color, everything. And if you're just reading those things, fortunately, Jennifer's mom doesn't believe that she's alive, which is why I think she does test against all the different does, because she thinks if Jennifer was still alive, she would have called by now or contacted somebody in some way. And that's something I really do agree with, or I guess something I would do, but I don't know. I guess if you wanted to run away and stay hidden, that you would. But her mom really just wants to bring her home and lay her down to rest properly, and I hope that her mom does someday get that opportunity, especially with all the advances in technology that we have for today. A little bit more about Jennifer's description for you guys. She would be 43, almost 44 years old today. 5 foot 9 inches, 130 pounds, so she's rather thin and lanky, like a ballerina. And brown hair, brown eyes. She has a scar on her left arm, right foot, and one on her face, and a tattoo that says JG on her right ankle. At the time she went missing, she had a wedding ring, double pierced ears, and a belly button ring. Both her dental and DNA are available. If you guys have any information about Jennifer or her case, please call one of the numbers down in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate that you guys take your time out of your day to listen to these cases and to learn about these people. Keep your eyes open for these people. And if you guys liked today's video, make sure to go ahead and give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I upload true crime videos on Thursdays at about 5 p.m. On Tuesdays and Saturdays, I upload beauty-related videos at 5 p.m. PST. So I would love to have you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!